Hello, everybody. Good morning. Hi, everybody. I am Danae. I'm really excited to be here today. I am going to talk a little bit about fundraising, about money, because we are all future entrepreneurs in this audience, and at one point in your career of getting your ideas off the ground, you probably will have to raise a little bit of money. So hopefully I can give you some tools and tips to get you started. But I actually want to start with a bit of a personal story, because I up here am an entrepreneur as well, and I want to speak to you guys as entrepreneurs. And I want to go back in time to probably the age when I was about your age. I was probably in my early 20s, and this was me, or at least this was going on in my brain. I really had no idea what I wanted to be when I grew up. I worked really hard in college. I took all the different classes. I majored in all different kinds of things, hoping freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, which is the different years at university in the United States, that I would slowly figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. But by the time I graduated, I still had no idea. So what I did, like any smart kid that I'm sure most of you guys are, is I went to Wall Street. I took a job in finance, figuring, yeah, at least it'll be secure, at least I'll make some money, and then it'll buy me some time to really figure out what I wanted to do. And I was there for several years, and a year or two into it, I had this experience. I got this email in my inbox, and there was an event that I got invited to called Where Hollywood Meets Wall Street. And I was like, ooh, what's this? That sounds fun. And then I was thinking, I'm this little analyst in investment banking. I'm working really hard. I'm like, can I do anything? Like, will that help me in my job? And I could not think of a reason why I should be going to this event. And I said, screw it, I'm going to go anyway. Because I was hoping maybe I could meet Mr. Brad Pitt. Like, if anything, I can use the fact that I work on Wall Street, and who knows who I'll meet. I'll get to meet celebrities, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I was getting ready to go to this event. I got all dressed up. I put on my little name tag. At the time, I worked at JP Morgan. And I arrived, and there wasn't any Brad Pitt. This is who I met. I actually met a lot of elderly gentlemen and women at this event. And while I was expecting to be, someone that no one would notice at this event, who was trying to push their way to the front to go and introduce themselves to Brad, I actually ended up being the person that everybody wanted to meet. And I was shocked. I was not prepared for this. And who I was meeting people who had just spent their entire life writing films, writing scripts, putting on plays in New York. And they were still begging for money. And what that meant to me, when I was there, that's what hit home. They saw my name tag, and what that said was money. And so 2 days later, when I got back to my desk, I was thinking about this a lot. I was a little bit sad. I was like, wait a minute, why should I be the one that they have to beg for money? I'm 22 years old. They're 70. They spent their entire lives making films. I don't know anything. So when a script arrived in my box, in my mail from this 70-year-old filmmaker asking me if I would fund his script, it broke my heart. And I said, there's something wrong here. There's something really, really broken. So I started asking questions. I worked with a banker who worked with Broadway, and she helped all the different theater companies raise money to get their productions off the ground. I was like, oh, well, let me ask her, how do these people raise money? And I quickly realized that the way that theater raised money, the way that Wall Street raised money, is that it's the rich funding the rich. It's a few people who launch their campaigns to their rich friends that then go and fund and get their projects off the ground. And so what's happening is all these little guys, all those people that I was meeting at Where Hollywood Meets Wall Street, they were getting left out. Those ideas were not getting funded. So that got me even more pissed off. And then I kept asking more questions. And I said, well, how do the little guys make money? And I learned that, if you wanted to start a little business, or you wanted to, open up a cafe, or if you wanted to get your script made into a movie, you had to go into debt. You had to use up all your savings. You had to refinance your mortgage. You had to spend hours upon hours writing grant applications, hoping that the government will show up and give you the funds to make your dream a reality. And I was like, this, again, is still broken, because what if What if you don't have any of this? What if you're young? What if you have no savings? Does that mean you have to go work for 10 years and get enough savings to go take your idea and turn it into reality? What if you're young? What if you're you? Are you guys just going to not pursue your dreams? The answer is no. Because today we have a whole new way of raising money. And I want to introduce you to two young entrepreneurs, Gutex and Mike Roth. They are video game designers, and they love video games. But they wanted to make a video game called The Excellent Adventures of Gutex and Mike Roth. The only problem is they didn't have the money. They're young, they didn't have the savings. So what they actually did is they turned to the people that wanted them to succeed the most. Their fans, the people that have been playing their video games for the last several years. And actually 151 of them showed up, gave them money so that they can actually go and produce their video game. And then I want you to meet Peter and Adine. Adine are two young musicians, I think here in China actually, who have been making music forever. But they wanted to start, launch their next tour, and they wanted to make their next album, but they didn't have the money to do it. So what did they do? They asked for help. They turned to their fans, the people that loved them the most, and they gave them over $1,000, which this is all US dollars, so don't be confused with Hong Kong dollars, to actually get their album made. And then I want to introduce you to FAD Haiti, which is an organization in Haiti, who they're not going to let their the earthquake that happened last year topple their dreams to actually build a school. So what did they do? They went online, they found the people that were passionate about rebuilding Haiti, and they got their school built and funded. So what these entrepreneurs, artists, and causes and organizations all have in common is that they're going directly to the people that are most passionate about their ideas and turning those people into their funders. What that means is for entrepreneurs, your funders are your customers or your future customers. For artists, that means your funders are your fans, the people that want your music or want your photography out into the world. And for causes, the funders are the people that are most passionate about sharing the cause and sharing the passion of what you're trying to do and change the world. So I want to introduce you to crowdfund, which is essentially this concept of people pooling their funds together who are passionate about the same idea that you are to actually get the idea off the ground. And they get something back in return. It's not just a pure donation. And you might think this is kind of new, like we've been talking about this, oh, this feels kind of new, but actually this is really quite old. This is exactly what the rich have been doing forever. They've been funding each other. This is what Wall Street is. This is what Broadway is. This is what Hollywood is. So the only thing that's new is that now anyone can have a campaign. You and you can have a campaign. The reason being is we live in this world where we're now in a global, now our communities are global. We have things like social networks. We have things like Twitter. We have followers and friends and friends of friends. We have email. We have all these tools that can connect us with the people we care about the most and the people that care about us the most and care about the work that we're doing and care about the ideas that we have. And you might ask, really, is this for everybody? Or is anybody can raise money this way? And I say yes. Even Jeffrey can raise money. Jeffrey is a young guy. Last week he broke his tooth. And unfortunately, he doesn't have dental insurance. In the United States, if you don't have dental insurance and you break your tooth, you have to spend over $2,000 US dollars to get your tooth fixed. So what did he do? He went online. He went to the community that has been watching his YouTube videos for the last few years, and he asked for help. And they showed up. Over 183 people gave anywhere from $1 to probably like $20 or $30 each so that he could go and buy his own tooth. Then we have an organization in Nanjing here in China who, a man has started it on his own. Basically, he's taken upon himself to reduce the number of suicides happening on this bridge in the town that he lives in. And every time he saves somebody from jumping off the bridge, he brings them back to a community center. So that we have someone who thinks the work that he's doing is absolutely amazing, and they've created and made a documentary about it. The problem is they ran out of money, so they went online and they went right to the people who want to see this man's story told, and they raised the money.